It interrupts your natural breathing patterns, which interrupts your natural like homeostasis and maintaining your calm emotional state. You can't get those nice calm breaths that try and relax you. So it increases your resting state of anxiety. And I mean, it's like you're trapped in there, it's like claustrophobic. And, you know, camera cut out for a bit. Sorry. It's not just for a bit, it's 24/7 is what they want you to wear this brace. Or in my case, I didn't wear it to school because I didn't want to uh, have to explain that to people. I mean, I was embarrassed about being embarrassed about the thing. I wouldn't want to people to think that I was so ashamed of the way my chest naturally is that I have to brace it. It just seems like a point of weakness. That's how I saw it, whether that's true or not. But my point is that I wore it for um, what is school? School's like 8 hours or something. I don't know how long a day of school is, 6 to 8 hours. So whenever I was not at school, like the other 16, 18 hours of the day, I was wearing this brace. And a lot of people wear it 24/7. And I was wearing my brace tighter than they recommended because I was older. Now, this is something that is important to touch on because a lot of people are getting to the point where they want to wear a brace for their pectus carinatum at too late of an age to really brace it and for that to be um, a viable method because their bones are more too set. And this was sort of the case with me. My brace did help me. I got there at the right time, but it was the last minute sort of thing. I've seen a lot of people in the Reddit forum for pectus carinatum talking about, um, you know, anywhere from like 16 to 20, talking about still wanting to brace. I mean, I wouldn't discourage it. I would go for it and try it maybe. But at the same time, and I could give more advice on that later, but I, my personal experience was that it was too late for me to change the bone structure of my chest with a brace unless I wore the brace way tighter than I was like recommended by the doctors. What the doctors will say, and I'll make a full video on the brace stuff, I'm sure, but like they want you to have it like pushing down. I kind of forgot what they said, but it's like they want it pressing but not painful. But I took it upon myself to make it like painful because I figured this is the only way I'm going to be able to change my hardened bones, which are already too hard to change. And if you're in that situation, it's hard to say I don't recommend that because it changed and helped the appearance of my chest, and today I'm very happy with how I look and I'm accepting of myself, but it's also because the chest did change a little bit because of my brace usage. But at the same time, it had a lot of negative mental effects. Just being in chronic pain all that time. I mean, if you want to look up effects of chronic pain, because that's what you might be getting into. The mental effects of chronic pain, being in rubbing against your skin all the time, and when you're and not being able to expand your breath fully, and even when you're sleeping wearing it, just you adapt to it and your mind adapts to it. Your mind adapts to not being able to breathe, like I said, and it adapts to being in pain all the time, and it'll kind of numb you to other feelings in the same way that it's like if you have a lot of pain in any kind of way, emotionally or otherwise, you eventually kind of numb to it. So it kind of okay, the brace toughens you up. I'll give it that. It's not what the brace is going for, but I think it made me a tougher person. I'm sure that's the case for other people. See, I've never talked to someone else in person that's been through these pectus carinatum brace wearing experience. I've never met anyone like that. I've met other people with pectus carinatum. It's pretty common, 1 in 1,500 people. I've met like 2 or 3 people with it. But yeah, I've never talked to someone about their experience with a brace, so I really only have myself to compare myself to. So, I mean, leave stuff in the comments. I want to build a community here that we can talk about this kind of stuff. Expanding from the Reddit community. If you don't know, there's a Reddit community for Pectus carinatum, just r/Pectus carinatum. Yeah, I really went off on a tangent there. Where was I started with that? Yeah, so anyway, I'll just go back to my story. I wore, okay, my mom, I was feeling my chest a lot, self-consciously. My mom saw that I was doing this. She picked up on that because I was just doing it, like, not even knowing, like, it wasn't totally conscious. I was just, like, feeling my chest, like, my chest is ugly. And my mom picked up on that, and she had Pectus carinatum herself, as I said, and she could relate to the insecurity that I felt, I'm sure. And she said, like, I'll take you to a doctor and let's just go to a doctor, chat it out, see what the doctors say. Because she didn't have a brace. The braces didn't exist until, I don't know when the braces started, but it's a recent thing, and people our parents' ages didn't have them as an option. They were just born with the bodies they had, and they just accepted it, and they dealt with it in other ways, and they turned out fine. So my mom brought me to the doctor, and basically, long story short, I end up getting fitted for a brace, a custom brace. I don't know the brand. I have the brace. I'll make more videos. I made a video already with the brace, so you can just look in my other videos, and I'll explain that stuff in more detail, where to get one and everything like that, at the cheapest ones. Maybe I'll do my research and I'll find for y'all the cheapest options for braces, if that's, yeah. So I end up with this brace, wearing it. It's painful at first, continues to be painful. It gets a little more comfortable though. You kind of get used to it. I noticed, like, some people were asking in the Reddit comments, like, my brace is so painful right now, does it get better? I've just, like, it's been like a week. Yeah, it actually kind of gets a little better as you get used to it, as your bones starting to flatten, and then they just kind of maintain there, because they kind of like push down, and that pushing down part, which lasts like maybe a week or two, is really painful, but then it'll just be keeping it there at that point. And it really depends on your chest and everything. It's not the same process for everybody. But yeah, so it was painful in general, or uncomfortable at first. It only really became super painful probably about 6 months in or so, when my chest started to rub away. It started to rub away the skin on my chest. And at that point, I didn't have time to like let the skin regrow, because I was on the grind, and I had to continue wearing the brace. So there was no time for the skin to like heal or anything. So I just kept rubbing away at it. It was very painful from that point on. And I would figure out how to not make the rash happen as much, like just not move it around so much, stuff like that. But yeah, okay, so one important thing if you're wearing the brace, this is probably obvious, but you want to wear a shirt underneath it, like a thin shirt. I had like these two like white athletic kind of like Under Armour type shirts that I would wear under my brace most days. If you have a thick cotton shirt, it's gonna like rub away at you and be bad. If you have no shirt, the brace is gonna it's just gonna like push into your skin too much. It's gonna hurt. So you want like just a thin shirt, thin Under Armour type shirt that you wear under it. Now sleeping, that was that was a challenge at first for sure. I kind of got used to it eventually. It almost helped me fall asleep quick because I was in so much pain when I kind of like laid back. And okay, so there's the thing on the front, and then there's also the thing pushing into your back to keep it on your front. So the thing on your back is kind of like, it's like sleeping on like a plate that's like on your back. So it's like your back is gonna be bent, and yeah, it definitely was tightening the muscles in my back. It made my back really tense. I'm sure that's common. Now that's a whole nother thing that I would have to get into, which is that wearing these braces, it is going to make your whole body really tense. The whole thing about you can't fully breathe and your body can't naturally be in like homeostasis and regulate itself through the breath to calm yourself and relax your muscles and stuff like that. And you probably won't sleep as well because of that. But because of all that, not being able to breathe as deeply and everything, your muscles are you're just gonna become real tense. Your muscles are gonna be like getting more and more tense. You want to stretch a lot. That is just, if I could go back, I would stretch a lot. I thought that if I stretched, then it would somehow like it would like lessen my progress. Like my mindset was that if I stretched, that it would like open up back up my chest, and my chest would like expand back into like what it was before. Don't think like that, guys. Your bones are separate. They'll go down anyway if you use the brace. But when you don't have the brace on, you want to be stretching it out. Maybe doing breathing exercises. I definitely think that comes in handy at a later point. Do breathing exercises. Exercise. Don't think that you have to have your my also philosophy was that if I exercise and get my muscles too big, then I won't be able to access my bones, and I won't be able to push my bones back as easily. Which kind of made sense, but actually you can work out in the brace, which I think that's probably the best option. See, I'm thinking like if you work out in the brace, it might create bad patterns of movement because it's like restricted movement and stuff like that. But once I started working out in the brace, that's when I saw the most progress with the transformation. And not just because I was working out and the muscles were covering it, but like when you work out while you're wearing the brace, I'm just talking like push-ups. There's these, tricep things. I'll show workouts for sure. But when you work out in the brace, that's when the most progress comes. I don't really know why that is. One doctor told me that after I had mentioned that I've been trying not to work out at all because I'm trying to stay skinny to access my bones. He told me, actually, there's a lot of progress that we've seen in patients that work out while wearing it. And I heard that. I started doing that. I was like, damn, I can't believe I haven't been working out this whole time, just thinking that it was helping. No, work out in the brace. Bodybuild in the brace. Do that.